Imagine stepping into a world where the boundaries between the known and the unknown blur. A realm where truth is stranger than fiction and every shadow whispers secrets of the past. Welcome to the enigmatic domain of the true life mystery realm. These 3 mysteries will increase your appetite for the unknown. In this journey, we uncover layers of the ordinary to reveal the extraordinary, where each mystery beckons with a chilling allure, promising to leave an indelible mark on your psyche. We welcome you, explorers of the unknown, to a world of intrigue, where each mystery unfolds with the suspense of a whispered secret. Before we begin, if you enjoy our content, please share with other like-minded explorers of the unknown, and thank you for watching. Your view is appreciated. Now, without further interruption, listen as the mysteries begin. In the shadows of the Cold War, a story unfolded that bridged the gap between the political turmoil of the real world and the mysterious, often unsettling realms that lie just beyond human comprehension. This is a tale that entwines the lives of influential figures within Italy's Christian Democrat Party, a narrative that weaves through the corridors of power, the quiet desperation of a nation under threat, and the eerie silence of the unseen world. Giorgio Lapira, a distinguished and diplomatic Christian Democrat known for his efforts during the tumultuous times of the Cold War, passed away in 1977. His death marked the end of a significant chapter in Italian politics, but also the beginning of a mystery that continues to captivate and unnerve to this day. In the aftermath of Lapira's death, Romano Prodi, a name that would later ascend to prominent political heights, turned to an unconventional method in an attempt to bridge the gap between the living and the dead. Prodi, along with others, performed a séance, a decision that might seem out of place in the rational world of political discourse. It was in this séance that Prodi claimed to have made contact with the spirit of the late Lapira. This eerie communication took on a new level of urgency in 1978, when Aldo Moro, another key figure in the Christian Democrat Party, was kidnapped. The nation was gripped with fear and uncertainty, and in this moment of desperation, Prodi returned to the Ouija board. Again, he claimed to have made contact with Lapira's spirit. This time, however, the stakes were far higher. Lapira, through the veil of the afterlife, purportedly provided Prodi with details of the kidnapping. Clues were given, among them Viterbo and Bradoli, words that sparked a frantic search for the kidnapped prime minister. Despite the urgency and the resources poured into the search, the efforts proved futile. Prodi's information was dismissed, the clues considered a dead end, leading nowhere near the truth of Moro's whereabouts. As days turned into weeks, the nation's hope dimmed. Then, in a twist that would seem at home in a detective novel, the wife of Aldo Moro suggested centering the search in Rome, specifically to locations bearing the name Bradoli. It was a suggestion that, in hindsight, would reveal the tragic oversight of the initial search. The breakthrough came when it was discovered that Moro was, in fact, held captive in a quiet, unassuming street in Rome named Via Gradoli. The realization came too late to save Moro, however. 55 days after his kidnapping, he was found dead, shot 10 times. His body left in an abandoned vehicle in the city that had been his home, his battlefield, and ultimately, the backdrop to a mystery that would linger in the minds of many. This story, rooted in the real-life events that shook Italy, serves as a chilling reminder of the lengths to which individuals will go in times of desperation and crisis. It speaks to the human desire to find answers, to seek guidance from beyond the veil, and the unpredictable nature of the information that might come through. In the unassuming expanse of Labette County, Kansas, a dark tale unfurled, rooted in the late 19th century, a story that would etch the name of the Bender family into the chronicles of American folklore as the nation's first serial killer family. The Benders, a German-speaking family, were John Bender, his wife, Ma, or Almira Bender, their son John Bender Jr., and daughter Kate. They settled in this quiet corner of the world, ostensibly seeking the peace and prosperity that the American frontier promised. Upon their arrival, the Benders established an inn, presenting themselves as humble innkeepers offering rest and refuge to travelers journeying through the vast and often unforgiving landscape of Kansas. Their property, nestled near what is now the U.S. Highway 400, became a well-known stopover for its hospitality. However, beneath this veneer of warmth and welcome, lay a chilling secret that would soon unravel, revealing the sinister nature of the Bender family. For several years, the Bender family lived in Labette County, therein becoming a place of horror rather than a haven. They developed a macabre routine, luring unsuspecting travelers to their inn, only to ensure that for many it would become their final resting place. The family would beat, stab, and ultimately kill their guests before robbing them of their possessions. The victims were then buried in shallow graves scattered across the Bender property, their silent whispers forever entwined with the Kansas soil. The Bender family's gruesome acts went undetected for years, their facade of normalcy never wavering until the land itself began to give up its grim secrets. It is believed that as many as 21 souls met their end at the hands of the Benders, each one adding to the family's ghastly legacy. As suspicion began to mount and the community's whispers grew louder, the Bender family vanished, abandoning their homestead and disappearing into the chronicles of mystery. Despite numerous investigations, they were never captured, their fates as enigmatic as the motives behind their heinous crimes. Today, now 150 years after their mysterious disappearance, the old Bender property stands as a bleak reminder of the family's reign of terror, a place where the echo of their crimes lingers in the air. Located on the northwest corner of U.S. Highway 400, the land holds the secrets of the past, evidence of the dark capabilities of those who once called it home. The story of the Bender family remains one of the most disturbing tales of the American frontier, a narrative of deception, murder, and mystery that continues to haunt the nation's consciousness. It serves as a somber reflection on the darkness that can dwell behind the most mundane facades, a darkness that once unleashed, leaves an indelible mark on the fabric of history. In 1977, the small quiet town of Circleville, Ohio, found itself entangled in a perplexing and unsettling mystery that remains unsolved to this day. It all began with anonymous letters that started appearing in the mailboxes of the townsfolk. These weren't ordinary letters. They contained secrets that only someone intimately familiar with the recipients' lives could know. Accusations, personal attacks, and even threats were penned with such detail and insight that it seemed the anonymous author was watching everyone, always lurking in the shadows. At the center of this web of secrecy and fear was Mary Gillespie, a school bus driver who received a letter accusing her of an affair with the school's superintendent. This accusation not only threatened to upend her life, but also marked the beginning of a widespread campaign of terror. The letters spread around town, targeting various residents with venomous accusations, engulfing the entire community in a cloud of suspicion and distrust. The mystery took a darker turn when Mary's husband, Ron Gillespie, received a phone call that led him to storm out of his house, only to be found dead later in a car crash, with a spent bullet from his gun but no clear evidence of another vehicle's involvement. The tragedy deepened the mystery, raising more questions than answers. The campaign of terror escalated when a booby-trap sign was rigged with a gun along Mary's school bus route, in an attempt on her life. Though she survived, the message was clear: the letter writer was willing to resort to murder. Suspicion eventually fell on Paul Freshour, Mary's brother-in-law, who was convicted amidst controversial and circumstantial evidence. Even with Paul in prison, the letters continued, casting doubt on his guilt and suggesting a deeper, more complex conspiracy at play. The Circleville letters mystery is a chilling reminder of how a shadow of anonymity can spread fear and chaos, eroding the fabric of trust that holds communities together. With the author's identity still a mystery, and the motives unclear, the people of Circleville are left with only the haunting legacy of a time when fear was delivered one letter at a time, right to their doorsteps. This story, woven from secrets, lies, and the unyielding gaze of an unseen watcher, remains a haunting enigma, a puzzle that lurks in the shadows of small-town America.